great war comes as we know it must. And the government says it's time for every citizen to go and fight to the death.
Hey, this is Guido coming at you with Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in. Your support helps the channel go. I've got the replay of the week for you today. Nonamanadus from the HBG clan. He's driving his Tier 9 Swedish TD, the Sturv 103-0. Normally I don't like to casemate TDs, but in the case of the Swedish Tier 8, 9, and 10, they've got the siege mode capability. And what happens there when you go into siege mode is your gun dispersion does not change very much when you're crawling forward or backwards or spinning right and left. So whereas a lot of casemate TDs will have a very narrow field of view for the gun as far as swinging right and left, and then once you meet that limit, the dispersion on it will increase quite a bit. Well, when you're in siege mode, that doesn't really happen with the Swedish tanks. Of course, when you're in siege mode, you don't travel forward or backwards very fast. Now, he is going to have a pretty good game right here, and it's going to be largely because he can get into a really good spot here and he doesn't have arty to contend with. So pretty permissive. And you can see that we are here on Erlenberg. They spawned in the south on attack, and he's got the sniper hill. And this hill is a place that the Swedish TD just loves. Now, Scorpion tried to get up in that spot and he realized he doesn't have the gun depression for it. Additionally, Nonamanadus, when you came right up and over on that beginning spot, that was pretty dangerous. You're lucky to have not lost any hit points. Unfortunately, he's dealing with a couple guys on his left who are hanging out where the cover is, namely the Centurion 7-1. So he's got to use this little open area right here. But already dropping a few dimes on people. There's 400 for the Type 4, which he goes right through the guy's turret. Great pen on this tank. Fires fast. Doesn't have a whole lot of alpha, but 400 is decent. But it can sure spit out the pain quickly. Shot there, and then he gets hammered by the 110 E4. So had you been shooting from where the Centurion was, more than likely a lot of those shots wouldn't have even been spotted, and you wouldn't have had to do a whole bunch of moving back and forth right there. As the Centurion 7-1 has backed off, I'd have stolen his spot right there. But you're pretty busy shooting, guys. There's somebody that bounces. Good on you. For some reason, I can't make things bounce off this tank. And even just a little bit to the left where that tree is would give you some cover. Additionally, you're fighting this little upward lip right here, which is going to give you make it a little bit hard for you to get down to get shots on those guys that are tucked under. If you were where the 7-1 was, you could do that. The only issue, obviously, with where the 7-1 is it's a little bit more exposed, and they might actually be able to shoot your lower plate. So you may be consciously thinking that, and that's fine. But pretty quickly, already dished out 2,000. Lots of customers. You can see how many guys are piled up along here on the 1, 2, 3 line. Got spotted again. In fact, you'd shot a couple times there without being spotted. This is not a bad idea. I might actually come down even maybe a little bit lower, and I think that's where you're kind of going. And then you can start working on these guys on the side. And yeah, that was a great idea. There he is. Whack. Maybe go for that front wheel. Try to track him. Sometimes you're just trying to take the shot you can get. Much like this. Oh, geez. And now you've got to be careful because you don't have a whole lot of hit points to give at this point. Nice job. Take that guy out. And you can see right there that the strength of this TD, with no arty there to dig you out, you can really be a royal pain just sort of peeking over and taking shots. And you'll notice how the gun doesn't really change a whole lot dispersion-wise, even as he's crawling forward and back. But you'll also note that the crawl forward and back is very slow. It ends up tracking that guy instead of hitting him. Oh, unfortunately, he got spotted. This was scary. Whoa! See that shell was coming in. I thought you were done right there because I could tell that 110 was looking right at you. There we go. That guy's dead. All right, y'all are looking good. Poking up in here. I might have gone for that IS-3. I think the IS-3 is more exposed to you right now. This is crazy because it goes right through this guy's turret. That Mill 1 turret is supposed to be invulnerable. Not so much. He hasn't even touched the gold yet. He's just letting him have it. That was a good shot right into the junction of the turret and the hull. Usually a fairly weak spot on a lot of tanks. Not easy to hit. And again through the turret. Oh, but a little bit of retaliation. Yeah, get that guy. Oh, that's going to come back to haunt you guys a little bit. Alright, there's that IS-3. Nice. And, oh, on the side. Yeah, if you'd have popped him in the front because he was giving you a little bit of flat plate on that pike nose, you probably would have run right through that guy. So what sort of ends up happening here is he's having a great game. And there's a lot of poking and prodding right in there, and maybe just getting rid of these guys a little bit slow. Like this T10. Getting rid of this guy quickly would have been really good for the team. Kind of poking, can't find it. And again, if you'd have shifted a little to the right, you wouldn't be dealing with this much of a ridge right here. Over here a little bit flatter, and you'd have been able to get the gun up and over. And as I talked about earlier, maybe getting up high up here would have allowed you to have better shots. Now, getting spotted with the bat chat back there, and if there's anything else camping, I could have taken you out of the game. But this spot right here is obviously a bit of a pain for you. You just can't quite get your gun down on him. And you really needed to get rid of this guy. Because preserving the T30 and the RHM at this point is really what you need to do. And what's going to happen is those good players on the other side in that bat chat and that STB are going to start whittling down your lead. Ooh, yep, there we go. That's one of them you needed. Yeah, you just lost a couple guys. Oh, lost another guy. It's not good. No idea why that guy drove up there. And now the bat chat's tearing up your T30. And remember when you missed the bat chat? When your entire team missed the bat chat? Yeah, that's no good right there. Big trouble now. So going from a winning situation down to a losing within probably 30 seconds to a minute. And to some extent, because you took a while to get rid of that T10. Now, I'm not saying that's the linchpin that changed this whole fight, but it definitely hurt you a little bit not getting rid of him quickly. And now we're going to wait. So you got a couple options here, really. You can head towards their cap and see if you can't catch one of these guys out here. The bat chat was fairly close recently because he did kill your T30. Who knows where he is at this point, though. You could fall back, maybe try to catch them coming across this open area if they're trying to flank you up and around. They're pretty good players, so more than likely they've gone a little defensive right now because they don't want to get spotted out and about by a tank like the Sturv or the Scorpion. So I think it's a good idea to move on forward. Now you are on attack, so if you fail to take the cap, you lose. If you all die, you lose. But if you sit around, you lose. So really you probably want to be a little bit aggressive on this, even though you're both on pretty low hit points. I think the right answer is what you're doing initially. Sort of poke around a little bit down here near the cap. See if you can't catch one of them out. Maybe someone is out in the open or sitting in a silly place. I certainly wouldn't expect that out of the STB or the bat chat, but maybe you can catch the 30 or the Scorpion doing something dopey. More than likely, though, you've got at least one hiding up in the bushes here, maybe one trolling around in these buildings, just in case you get to cap so they can light you, and there's probably one or two of them up here. You may have one moving around in the middle here as well, and in addition, there may be one coming up here, and I realize that's more than 4 I just talked about, but those are all the kind of possibilities. This is a good bush that you're going to right here, so to speak. It's a good place to hide in there with that Sturv. There you go, and get your binocs cooking, and maybe you can catch one sitting around there. And at 149, it's pretty much time to poo or get off the pot. I would probably just push into cap and see what you can do. Yeah, they may catch you out. They may shoot you well before you even get across the bridge. But you're going to lose anyway, so sitting here. And what we're going to see is he's got 5,500. I think there was at least one shot in there that was a blind shot, so he may be closer to 6,000. Pretty good game. Not bad. Showed a lot of the strengths of the Sturv. Given a situation like that where you can go hold down, super hold down for the Swedish TDs with siege mode is amazing. Provided you don't get shot in the side or pushed. Or there's arty. Well, arty's obviously an issue. So you're getting down to a minute. And what's going to end up happening here, folks, is somewhere around a minute, these players on the other side, two of them are pretty good players, will realize that they really can't lose even if they get killed, and they're going to come in looking for the hit points. So they're not worried. They're probably not going to lose. There's probably one of the four is sitting so far away they can't possibly be shot. And you'll see them show up here pretty quickly. And that's what I'll do. I'll position myself for a run at where I think they are. If I get killed, no big deal. If I light one up, get some spotting damage, that'd be great. If I actually get some shots in, even better. So yeah, as far as end game play, I'd have been moving already. And interestingly, because a couple of them are going to show up from behind you over here, you may have actually got on the cap for a while. You never know. Alright, so he kills that. I was wondering if you're going to shoot right through that, your dead scorpion, but this guy sticks his rear end out a little bit. Take him down, and then the STB comes up and over and whacks you in the snap here. No, no, don't do it. Oh. Alright, man, good game. There you go. Over 6,000, so maybe closer to 6,500 if you did get a blind one in there. Replay of the week. Showed you some of the strengths of the Sturv. Talked a little bit about what you might want to try in game in a situation like this. Because the STB and his Scorpion G buddy came up behind you, I don't know. Maybe you could have got on cap and defended it from there. I don't know. All right, man. Replay of the week. If you like what you see, subscribe. Otherwise, we will see you.